What's the difference between ASCAP, BMI, and SESAC? Is there a difference? I know they're all performing rights organizations, PROs, right. But what's the difference? Why should I choose one over the other?
Well, they offer very similar things, and they won't be very different in nature of what they do. I do know that SESAC, actually I'm going to say I believe so, because I remember they were at one point, but they were invite only. You get invited by somebody, and I believe
they still are. Yeah.
I believe they were doing something new where they were paying on, like, if you go play in a club, they'll pay you for performing your song in the club, you for performing it. Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with BMI and ASCAP a little more. I know ASCAP is run by songwriters. We actually met with them, and their pitch basically was, you want people chasing your money down that are songwriters because we understand you. We're songwriters. You want us to represent you on that.
Right, exactly.
And then I went to BMI, and BMI sat down and he goes, do you want a bunch of songwriters representing your music?
You want business people.
You want businessmen.
Right,
we
broadcast,
Chase Bank.
music, incorporated.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, they do very similar things. I'm actually represented by BMI.
Okay.
And Gary is an ASCAP writer.
Okay.
And I think this is important to say. Well, I guess this isn't that important, but
Gary's your manager.
Gary is my publishing manager. So they had to make a new company for me under BMI because I'm a BMI writer, because their company was an ASCAP writer, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing at the time, but apparently I guess you have to have if you are under a publishing deal, they have to have a company set up under BMI, and they didn't at the time. It was
the affiliation, just to make sure that that's clear, the affiliation between the writer and the publishing company have to be the same.
Right.
So if you're an ASCAP writer, your publisher or your publishing company has to be an ASCAP company. If you're going to sign songs by your brother and he's BMI, I know you said you're BMI, and he's the opposite one, then you also have to start another publishing company to put his share of the publishing in. I don't know why he'd ever trust you with any part of his publishing.
I would never trust me with any part of his publishing.
There you go.
I'll take that money and run.
It's a perfect relationship. The only thing that I want to add to that is that, what the difference is that's more, a reality check is that I used to do a lot of music for film and TV, ton of TV stuff. And I worked with a guy that was a BMI writer, and I was an ASCAP writer. And so a lot of these songs we did together. So we'd get checks, and I think this is really relevant if you're making a decision which one you like, ASCAP, BMI, or even SESAC. Well, we'd co-write a song, so 50-50. He'd get a check on that song. We could look at the statements from ASCAP and BMI. In his case, it was BMI. He'd get, and this is a true story, I mean, he'd end up in a quarter making a couple $1,000. I'd make $15,000 or $20,000 from ASCAP for the same songs.
Wow.
So I'm not saying ASCAP is better than BMI, excuse me. What I'm saying is that if you're trying to decide which one you want to be affiliated with, they all pay different amounts for different things. And if you're going to be a TV writer, and it's going to be daytime TV, which is what we were doing, it was a good idea. And I kept telling him, dude, you're missing the boat. Oh, no, the next statement will be different. The next statement was never different, and he never left. Now, there's a window to get in and out of those. But all I wanted to say is that's the best scenario to be able to check between if you co-write a song with somebody that's affiliated with the other performing rights organization, or if you know that before you have to make a decision and they're in a similar genre than you're in, it would be a great idea to just go and reference, oh, this guy made $500, this guy made $1,000. I don't know which one I like better, but I like the one that pays the $1,000.